Hey everyone. Well, today I think I want to talk a little bit about the ergonomics of the TBS Mambo. This is their new, kind of, you could say full size, but still pretty compact radio. Comes with the tracer built in, and it also has a full size JR module bay on the back, which I'll be using because my main interest right now is flying with ExpressLRS because of these really neat little EP2 receivers with the surface mounted antennas. Those are great, and if TBS would release tracer receivers like this, then I would just run tracer, but because mainly I want to run these receivers, I'm running ExpressLRS with this with a module. I don't actually have any tracer receivers at the moment, but from everything I've seen, it's a really terrific protocol, and I'd be happy to use it, but for now, I'm just going to be using this with the external module. So let's take a look at the front of the radio. Really nice quality plastic on this. Feels a little bit nicer to me even than what's on the Tango 2, which I have one here for comparison. Just want to look at the size. See, little side by side. So I think the gimbals are more or less the same. They feel the same. I don't know if they're interchangeable on the inside, but on the outside they feel the same, and so that means that they feel really nice. A good smooth throttle there, and nice movement. And as you can see, the overall shape of this is really good, whether you a thumb style or a whatever kind of pinching style. I think the sticks are in a great place. And you can see the shape of the front case here is actually quite sculpted, so they've put a lot of thought into this, and I think it is really quite comfortable and easy to hold. It's very good, and you have nice easy navigation here. Just 3 buttons and a nice feeling scroll wheel. Also clicks in, and the power button here you can see is recessed, so really no chance of pressing that too easily. And you feel like this might be should be the power button or something, but that's just a little decorative TBS logo. Wish it would light up. It doesn't do anything, but it does look kind of nice on there anyway. A bit of interest. And so if you fly planes or wings, this is also a nice radio because it has trims, and the trims actually feel pretty nice. They have a decent amount of movement before they do click, so they're kind of nice to use. And on the front you have 4 traditional 3-position switches, which is great. And then these little potentiometers here I think are a little bit too hard to turn. I don't use them, so I'm not too concerned about that, but I think on the Radio Master they're a little bit too loose. Here they're a little bit too stiff, but they do have a very strong center detent, so that's nice. And on the top of the radio you have 2 of these low profile switches or buttons like you have on the Tango 2. So this one is a momentary switch. See if you can see that. That one's momentary, and then this one does stay in. So with the momentary switch I really like. I use that as like a pre-arm, and then this is usually what I use for arming. So that's pretty much perfect. So great layout there, great shape. Now let's come around to the back, and you have some nice rubber panels here for extra grip, and then some nice rubber grips here. And I think towards the end of the design phase they added these little nubs, which are nice. And let's take a look at the battery bay. Nice thing about this radio is you can run it off of just one 18650 if you wanted to, or you can run 2 for extra runtime, but it works on 1, so it's a pretty convenient feature. And you can also charge the battery internally with the USB-C, or also use this connection to connect it to a computer for a simulator or for accessing the SD card. So let's take a look at the module bay. Now my experience with this is that this module bay is a little bit undersized compared to, like, say, what's on the Radio Master, because when I first tried to put in this original 3D printed Happymodel module, it was really tight fit, and I ended up having to sand the corners down on the module. As you can see, a little bit rounded. I did that so it actually fit in more easily. Now it fits in fine, no problem. So I thought I would get the molded case, thinking that the molded case might fit a little bit better, and actually the molded case has the same really tight fit issue, and I wouldn't want to force it in there. I think it might be pushing on the pins in a weird way, so I'm going to have to probably sand this box down a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's a case that this module bay is slightly undersized, or if these pieces are slightly oversized. But in the Radio Master, for example, I didn't have any issue with this module fitting. It just drops right in. Maybe it's even a little bit loose since I sanded it. And then the molded case, also a little bit of a tight fit, but it does go in pretty easily, whereas in the Mambo it really requires some sanding. So I'm not sure where the tolerances are off there in that case, but it's not a big deal to sand this case down a little bit. But just be aware that if you're going to run one of these ExpressLRS modules, you might need to do a little bit of modification or sanding on the case, the module case, before you run it inside of the Mambo. But since I've sanded this one down, it's been working fine, and I have no issues with the ExpressLRS module in this. I just had to copy the Lua script onto the radio, and that was no problem. So let's take a look at this screen here. And I haven't taken the protective plastic off, but let's do that now. And just peel that right away. There you go. So nice big screen, especially compared to the Tango 2, which is a little postage stamp of a screen. It works, but it is really tiny, and it looks good, easy to see outside. And so let's just do a quick side-by-side with the Radio Master. You can see it is quite a bit smaller than the Radio Master, and I think just as functional. It feels, I think, just as good or better in the hand. Really nice combination of like a full-size and compact radio, and I think anybody would be able to find a comfortable and good flying position with this. I think the main question is if you're interested in tracer or if you're interested in using the full-size module, and if you are, I think this is a really terrific radio in terms of the ergonomics and user experience. Really enjoy using this. So I think this is going to be my new radio going forward. Daily driver, I think people call it. And if I run into any issues down the road, I'll let you know. And let me show you just one more quick thing. This was kind of a neat touch when you have it off and you're going to charge it via USB-C. It shows you very clearly on screen that it is indeed charging, so there's no question as to what's going on. And anytime you touch one of the keys, it'll light up again and show you the state of charge. So nice little touch, really well designed radio. Really happy to be using this. I think they did a nice job on this. And just this basic version with tracer and no module or anything is $140. So that's just my quick look at the TBS Mambo, mostly from an ergonomics perspective, but I really like what they've done here. I think they've designed, as expected, a really high quality, easy to use radio.